courage. We're not going to take this lying down.
This is for all of the women of color, and colorful people.
Now is the time for all of us to stand up and say, enough is enough.
I'm ashamed as a human being that we ignore their cries for help.
Women are in the world, and we will not be bullied.
Hey. Well, welcome to day 2 of the Women in the World Summit 2017, and it is going to be a phenomenal day today. We have had so many conversations planned with the leaders and truth tellers in countless disciplines, and you're going to see them all coming in today. From entertainment, from business, technology, journalism, politics, they're all here. For those of you who just arrived or didn't come last night, we got things off to an incredibly rousing start with some wonderful women on our stage. We had Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and she said, masculinity, even though it comes with privileges, is also a cage. Cecile Richards said, my mother taught me that if you're not pissing somebody off, you're probably not making progress. Dr. Annie Sparrow, that incredibly brave doctor who works in Syria in the front lines there, she said, turning a hospital into a place of torture is possibly the worst violation of medical ethics you can think of. And her colleague, Dr. Rola Halam, what keeps me going, she said, are the Syrian doctors, nurses, and aid workers. They get up, massacre after massacre, dust themselves off, and go and do their life-saving work. Then we had Ambassador Nikki Haley, and she came in and talked to us about all the crises that are raging. And she said, what I hope the United Nations realizes is talk less, act more, and make sure we are doing all that we can. The brave wife of the poisoned dissident, Russian dissident, Evgenia Kara-Murza told us, fear is an interesting feeling in that it impacts everyone differently. I dash forward when terrified. I love that. And my old friend and regular Women in the World participant, the great Indian journalist Barker Dutt said, when we don't ask the uncomfortable questions, when we don't get under your skin, we're doing something wrong. So today I look forward, and we all do, to hearing the wise words of our amazing guests, including Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Queen Latifah, Scarlett Johansson, First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, and Samantha Bee, who will introduce the Honourable Hillary Rodham Clinton at the end of the day. And she's going to give her first sit-down interview since the election with the New York Times' Nicholas Kristof. So we're going to start this morning with an extremely timely conversation, because just this week we learned from the New York Times that Fox News has settled no fewer than 5 sexual harassment cases against their marquee star, Bill O'Reilly. This panel is going to include Gretchen Carlson, the former Fox News journalist whose own sexual harassment suit was the first salvo to rock the house that Roger Ailes built. And she's joined by lawyer Nancy Erica Smith, who's represented multiple harassment cases and has just announced that she's representing another on-air talent in a suit against Ailes and Fox News. The great Leslie Stahl will lead that discussion, and we're thrilled to have her here because she has her new book out about becoming a grandparent. She's on her book tour, and she stopped to do this interview today, which I'm most grateful to her for. So, of course, I'd now be speaking to you through a megaphone on a crate in a corner of Union Square if it weren't for our generous sponsors. We're proud to be aligned with our leadership sponsors AARP, AT&T, the Boston Consulting Group, MasterCard, P&G, and the Rockefeller Foundation. Our supporting sponsors, the Ford Foundation, PepsiCo, and Thomson Reuters. And Women in the World friends, the Walton Family Foundation, Gender Fair, and the Tory Burch Foundation. And I'd like to acknowledge the contributions, too, of a particularly outstanding company, our sole presenting sponsor, Toyota. Six years they've been by our side, helping us take the amazing voices who've graced our stage to audiences across the country and around the world, and with their support of the truly exceptional Mothers of Invention program, Toyota is building a network of female social entrepreneurs who are using innovation to tackle the world's most urgent problems. It's my great pleasure, before we start the panel, to introduce you now to someone who I've had the pleasure of working with for many of these occasions, and of course, Mothers of Invention, Toyota's Vice President of Vehicle and Marketing Communications, Lisa Matarazzo. Have a great day, everyone, and take it away, Lisa. Where are you?
Good morning, and thank you, Tina, for that kind introduction. And thank you all for showing your support for female changemakers by joining us. It is our great pleasure to help bring them to you. And that's why the Mothers of Invention program is so very special to us. We started Mothers of Invention in 2012 to identify and celebrate women leaders who are driven to change the world through innovation and entrepreneurship. To date, we've honored 19 women of exceptional vision who are writing bright new endings to stories about the people the world often forgets or overlooks by developing solutions to food, water, shelter, healthcare, electricity, and education. Now, in addition to building great cars, Toyota's founding vision is to improve society and the lives of others. And this vision still guides us today. So we've amplified the work of the Mothers of Invention winners by awarding a $50,000 grant to each of their companies. We've given nearly $1 million so far, and we are just getting started. A few examples include Day One, a company that brings clean drinking water to disaster zones, has been able to assist 13 times more people with its innovative water bag. And the Copia app, which has brought food that would otherwise be thrown away to over 250,000 people in need. And Lava Mae's fleet of special buses that provide the homeless with a hot shower. Its Mothers of Invention grant has allowed it to exponentially increase the number of people it serves in the San Francisco Bay Area, launch a branch in Los Angeles, and seed 12 other mobile hygiene units around the globe. Throughout the summit, we hope you'll learn about these remarkable women at our display kiosks and become as inspired as I am by their optimism, intelligence, and grit. Please also enjoy our complimentary shuttle services as you leave the summit each day. And finally, I ask you to take the examples of our Mothers of Invention with you and let them move you to attempt the impossible in your corner of the world. By working together to tackle the world's biggest challenges, the Mothers of Invention Network can grow even larger, even stronger, and make an even bigger impact on the lives of others. Thank you.